Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We know how busy you are and appreciate you choosing to spend time with us. We will do our very best to make the next 45 minutes to an hour as productive for you as possible. My name is David Ronald, and I'm the VP of Marketing at Foxit Software. I'll be your host. We have a special guest with us today, Dave Murray, Executive Vice President at the BPI Network. Welcome, Dave. And we're also joined by Brian Duddy, Product Engineer at Foxit Software. Welcome, Brian. Most of you are probably already familiar with Foxit Software, but some of you may be less familiar with the BPI Network. The BPI Network is a thought leadership and professional networking organization, and one of its core competencies is marketing research, which informs the analysis that Dave will present in a few moments. And Foxit, as you know, is a leading provider of fast, affordable, and secure PDF solutions. Here's the agenda for our webinar. Dave will get things started by looking at trends in PDF software based on the research conducted by the BPI network. Then I will look at how PDF software is evolving to meet these trends and explore the role of Foxit in this evolution. And then Brian will provide us with a demonstration of the latest version of Phantom PDF. And we'll be sure to leave plenty of time at the end for your questions. Before we begin, here are 3 housekeeping issues. Although everyone's phone lines are muted, we do want to hear from you. So please submit your questions to us by typing them into the box provided in that control panel, probably on the right of your screen. We'll do our best to answer them all. Also, this webinar is being recorded and will be added to the archive on our website at the URL shown here, foxitsoftware.com/company/webinar. We have a variety of webinars in our archive, and I encourage you to check them out. Last but not least, I invite you to subscribe to our blog. We write about a wide variety of PDF-related topics, and by subscribing to the blog, you will receive a weekly update, which we're calling Tuesday's Topic. Don't miss it. And with that, let me pass control of today's webinar to Dave Murray, Executive Vice President at the BPI Network.
Great, thank you. Let me just get into slideshow here. So I'm going to talk today about a study that the Business Performance Innovation Network did with its partner organization, the CMO Council, and Foxit. It's called Dealing with Document Deluge and Danger, and it's looking at the areas of problem and opportunity in terms of documents in a digital age. Let me just give you a little background on the study itself. We did a survey in 2016 of more than 500 knowledge workers and managers around the world, looking at the challenges and dependencies of dealing with documents in a digital age. And I think the study really highlights a high level of frustration and concern among managers and knowledge workers because of what we coined the phrase document deluge, and it also demonstrates a growing need to find new solutions to improve the way we deal with documents in terms of tracking them, controlling them, updating them, how we review and approve them, and how we maintain the security of our documents. So one thing that is very clear from this study, the complexity and dependencies of dealing with documents has not been reduced by technology, and in fact is growing. Some 90% of everyone who responded to our survey said that the pace of document creation within their businesses is either growing or at least not declining, and a large majority said that it was growing. And then 8 in 10 said that the accelerating pace and connectivity of business is increasing the need for document production, sharing, and management. In other words, the document is definitely not going away. It's becoming even more important to the way we share information and ideas, enforce policies, and transact business. And in fact, some 93% of respondents said they consider their business and their jobs dependent on documents. And interestingly, 90%, almost the same number, said that they were dependent on PDF technology as well. And we also asked what areas of their business, what types of documents were most critical to their business. The first two types of documents are transactional, legal contracts and business agreements, and then sales-related documents, price quotes, bids, RFP responses, and then about a third said they were dependent on documents for ongoing business communications. So we asked our participants what was driving the increasing need for document production, and respondents pointed first and foremost to the need to formalize and codify policies and practices and agreements within the enterprise, followed by increased business complexity, more deals, more partnerships, more transactions than ever before. And then thirdly, they also said that they were creating more versions of each document that they produce, which again I think points to an increased complexity in business today. And then finally, the fourth most pressing need was greater compliance and regulatory insight. So given an environment in which documents are becoming more numerous and more critical to an increasingly complex business landscape, I guess it's no surprise that we're seeing high levels of frustration and concern around documents. The number one area of frustration is something I think we can all relate to: lost time searching for documents that we've misplaced. And closely aligned to that problem is a problem I'm sure that we've all experienced as well: the need to recreate a document because we can't find the one we originally did. And then another big frustration is the problem associated with people using the wrong version of a document. The problem is, once a document's left your computer, there's no easy way to recall it or to revise it. And then a very big area of concern is security, and we're actually working on another study on this issue in and of itself. You know, we hear a lot about data breaches and break-ins, but the document itself is also a very important area of concern around security. Documents contain very significant and sensitive information that can cause real harm and damage to a company if it gets into the wrong hands. So, given the challenges and frustrations that we have been talking about, we asked respondents if they saw value in a solution that would make documents more traceable, more trackable, and controllable. And they overwhelmingly said yes. And here's why. Number one, traceability, they say, can ensure the integrity of the document and provide an audit trail of where it's been, who's used it, who's edited it. Number two, closely related, is the ability to ensure conformity with rules and regulations and controls. It also addresses that problem of outdated documents in circulation, and it addresses the security problem of protecting intellectual property and digital assets. And finally, it just generally provides greater control over who views and revises a document. So we also asked our participants what capabilities they would find most valuable in a cloud service built around the capacity to track and control documents once they've left your computer. And not surprisingly, I guess these features closely align with the challenges and frustrations that knowledge workers and managers are experiencing. They want the ability to refresh and update PDF documents that have actually left the office. They want the ability to recall them if there's a problem with that document or if a new version exists. And they also want the ability to redact PDFs remotely. So that's a quick look at some of our findings. And as I said at the beginning of this, our study really underscores that there's a real need to revisit the document and PDF technology to make it more suitable for a digital and connected world in which once a document leaves your computer, it can very quickly be circulated to many, many people around the world. So that generally is the findings of our study. And I think I'll turn this over now to David again to talk a little bit about the future of the document.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, I'm trying to do just that. And I'm seeing everybody who's on the, how do I do that? Oh, I see. I got it. Hold on 1 second. Organizers only. Okay.
Cool.
All right, sorry for the delay.
No worries, thanks very much. Can you see my screen, Dave?
I can.
Cool, all right. Well, thanks. That was interesting. We've had one question already from the audience. I don't know if you may have answered this in the preamble, but how many people did you include in your survey? And were they only based in the US, or did you survey other countries?
Yes, we surveyed over 500 people for this survey, and it was an international survey. There was a large number from the US, but there were also participants in the survey from Europe and from Asia.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So now I'm going to look at how PDF software needs to evolve in response to the trends Dave talked about, specifically or including, but not specifically, the document deluge. The portable document format was created, as I think everybody in the call will know, by Adobe Systems in the early 90s, primarily to ensure that documents rendered the same, independent of application software, device, operating system. And that in itself was a great advance, and one that was quickly embraced by businesses and individuals. I mean, I was working. I'm old enough to have been working in the early 90s, and I remember the frustrations pre-PDF, where a colleague had been working on a Mac, let's say, working in Word, or working in WordPerfect, and had given me a floppy disk with the document on it, and I'd uploaded it to my PC and trying to view it, and things just didn't look the way they should have. So that was a huge advance, and one that was quickly embraced by businesses. And as a result, there are estimated to be 2.5 trillion PDFs in existence. And in fact, at a conference I attended this summer, the PDF Days Europe conference in Berlin, that number was put as high as 4 trillion. So that's a huge number of documents, and that speaks to Dave's point about document deluge. It's important to remember, however, that the internet was only in its early stages when the PDF standard was first released in 1993. And the internet was still a few years away from being widely adopted. And perhaps, like me, you can remember those days when people exchanged information primarily by phone and by fax and by paper, stacks and stacks of paper documents. Adobe continued to lead the enhancement of the PDF standard for over a decade, but there has been little innovation from the mid-2000s onwards. And a lot has happened since then, including the widespread adoption of mobile devices, especially smartphones that enable people to view documents and send, respond to emails and chat and so forth. We now live in an era where people create and share almost all documents online, and many of them are viewed on mobile platforms. The PDF, however, has not made the transition from a print world to a connected one. A world where everyone from individuals to enterprises needs to share documents anywhere on any device intuitively and securely. More innovation obviously is required, and there's even been discussion about the need for the pace of innovation to accelerate. So how can Foxit help? Some people, when asked if they've heard of Foxit software, will say, no, I haven't. However, when asked if they've used Chrome, Gmail, or the Amazon Kindle, almost all will respond, yes, I have. Anyone who has viewed a PDF on any of these platforms will have used Foxit software. Therefore, millions, if not billions, of people are benefiting from Foxit's innovation. We have over 200 enthusiastic and smart engineers at Foxit, all focused on one thing, developing the next generation of PDF. Not only that, our acquisition strategy is enabling us to bring great talent and technology into the company. Some notable acquisitions include Sumilux, a cloud services company, and Debenu, a provider of software development kits. The founder of Sumilux, Stephen Lee, was one of the founding team at WebEx and was a vice president of engineering at Amazon. Stephen is now our chief technology officer. And the CEO of Debenu, Carl Dabru, was a co-founder of Nitro, one of our competitors. And Carl is now president of our SDK business unit. So how is Foxit contributing to the evolution of PDF software? First up, making PDFs responsive. We're working with Adobe to evolve the current PDF standard to align with today's needs. Websites have become responsive because more and more people are viewing them on smaller screen mobile devices. And PDFs also need to adapt automatically to the size of screen they're being viewed on. Next, we're making PDFs smarter. It's amazing. We have smartphones, smart watches, smart appliances, smart everything, but the document, which is something every one of us works on almost every day, is still dumb. What does dumb mean? It means that it's not connected. It means that we don't know where it goes or what happens to it once it leaves our computer. We can't update it once it's been sent. We can't secure it. We can't destroy it. Dave spoke a few moments ago about the challenges associated with the document deluge. Smart documents can address those problems and bring the document into the modern connected age. Foxit hasn't created the smart document yet, but we're working on it. We recently launched a new technology called Connected PDF, which empowers you to do things like control who can open, edit, or print a PDF and provide those permissions in real time, update documents even after they've been sent, send alarms to team members that a new version of a document is available, track and locate different versions of documents, become smarter. Connected PDF will become even more sophisticated. It will be able to provide intelligence and advice about the information inside of a document, or learn workflows and speed business processes by itself. For example, let's consider Sam, an employee who monitors the status of oil pipelines and who may be using a mobile device such as an iPad while in the field in, say, Alaska or the Arabian Desert. Sam sends status reports to her vice president of engineering, but sends expense reports to her manager. Sam can create a smart document which automatically determines which document should go to whom, the vice president of engineering or her manager. This is based on prior workflows. The smart document can auto-populate sections of those documents and can even make suggestions about content enhancements based on feedback received in a prior document or a prior document many iterations back. And this brings me to Phantom PDF, our flagship platform. Connected PDF technology, which is our first step towards smart document, is already available with Phantom PDF. Phantom PDF is a multi-feature PDF editor that enables you to view, create, edit, organize, sign, scan, and OCR documents, convert PDFs to Office formats such as Word, PowerPoint, so on, and collaborate and share documents, and sign, protect, and secure them. And in October 18th, I think, we recently released a new version of Phantom PDF, version 8.1, which provides the following enhancements. Expanded integration with enterprise content management systems, which provides more choices about where to store your PDFs. Integration with Foxa Archive, which is our very own document management solution. Enhanced conversion from PDF to Microsoft Office files, enabling better accuracy and easier editing. More accurate page layout recognition, enabling a smoother editing experience. Add-ins to major web browsers, and enhanced control over what happens to the connected PDFs you've created even after they've left your computer. And with that, I think it's time for me to pass control of the webinar to Brian Duddy, Product Engineer at Foxa Software, for a demonstration of Phantom PDF.
Thank you, David. And before I get started with my demo, I see there's a question about will Foxa support 3D PDFs? We actually already have 3D PDF viewing technology in beta in our Foxa Reader and Phantom PDF products. And we're working on getting those to a state where we can officially release them as soon as possible. So hopefully you can expect that in the near future. But right now I'm going to demonstrate Phantom PDF, which, if you haven't heard of it, is our PDF editing, organization, security, and more product. So Phantom PDF integrates with a wide variety of content management systems, all of the ones you see on the screen. And this includes both consumer-oriented systems such as Dropbox and Google Drive, as well as business-oriented solutions such as SharePoint and NetDocuments. And we are constantly working on adding more and creating new integrations. What do we mean by integration? Is that this involves users being able to open files from and directly save files to an ECM system from within Phantom PDF. So how does this help with the document deluge? Well, this allows you to store all of your documents in some sort of online system and access them without having to leave your application, go on the web, download extra software, do anything else of this nature. So this makes it much easier to move all of your documents to some kind of storage solution, and thus eliminates the problem of having to search for and organize them yourself. We also support checking in and checking out documents, of course, for those solutions that support it. If you haven't seen Phantom PDF before, I'll show it to you in a moment. But we use the design principles also seen in Microsoft Office. So right now there are two different workflows. One of them is based on a tab, the Share tab, which you can see here at the top of the screen. The other one operates within the File menu here. Now we're working on unifying these, so in the future you'll be able to find all of your file storage solutions in the same place within Phantom PDF. So first I'm going to demonstrate how to use a consumer-oriented solution such as Dropbox. So within the File menu, you have the option to add a place. Here is nearly all of the solutions you support, and you see one of them is Dropbox. So as soon as you click this, we bring you quickly to a Dropbox sign-in screen. You log in with your Dropbox credentials. There is, of course, we comply fully with Dropbox's security, which ensures that you are the person that you say you are, so with your phone or your email account or anything else of that sort. And once you've done that, within a few seconds, hold on, let me sign in again. Let me make sure it's entered that right. There we go, must have hit the X by mistake. Of course, once you give permission, you can see all of your Dropbox files here and freely choose one to open. Of course, you can only open PDF files, but once you open one, it quickly shows within Phantom PDF. What you can also do is open any PDF file from your computer. Of course, do all the things you can do within Phantom, which include edit, comment, protect, and so on, and then save it directly to Dropbox in any folder you choose. So as you can see within Phantom PDF, we offer a very quick and simple integration to open and save files to simple consumer solutions such as Dropbox. Now, in terms of more business-oriented solutions, such as, for example, iManage Worksite, you may have to go through some more configuration steps, such as setting up a server and registering. So for iManage, you see I already have a server set up. I'm logged in as a user, and I'm connected. So what I can then do is click on this to open an iManage window. You see I have a wide variety of test files in my iManage instance. And we even handle versions in an older version of the file. We automatically prompt you if you'd like to open a newer version. We integrate the checkout, so as soon as you open the file in Phantom PDF, it will automatically check it out. You can then edit the file in any way you choose. I'll, for example, add some text. And once you're done, you can save the file directly back to Worksite and either replace the original or simply create a new version. So, of course, it automatically, since you still have the file open, it automatically prompts you to check out the new version. So, as you can see within Phantom PDF, we handle not just the simple solutions such as Dropbox, but also provide quick integration with the more business-oriented solutions such as iManage Worksite. And along with NetDocuments, SharePoint, and Fresco, which we already support, we are constantly working to add support to more in the future. So let me just reiterate the benefits. There's no need to switch between your PDF editor and between a file manage app or a web browser as you would normally need to do when working with one of these solutions. You don't need to manage file downloads or uploads or local storage or downloaded files by users because this is all handled automatically by the application. Since check-in and check-out of these files is handled by Phantom PDF, you don't need to handle that manually, and this eliminates problems such as users forgetting to check files in, and that's restricting other users from editing them. And overall, this just means that you don't need as many steps to complete your work processes because everything can be done within the same application. What's on our roadmap? As I stated before, we're working on improving the UI and making sure all solutions are available in the file menu, as I showed for Dropbox. We're working on more integrations, so this is actually just a sample, but ones we're working on right now: WorldDocs, FileNet, Office 365, OneDrive Business, which is closely related to Office 365, EMC Documentum, and more. And of course, various UI and miscellaneous performance improvements. So that's all I have for now in terms of demonstrating the integrations of Phantom PDF. I'm going to give control back to David right now, and we can take any questions that people have been waiting to ask.
Thanks, Brian. We've reached the end of the presentation, the slides that Dave, myself, and Brian had created, and we have time for questions. We received a few, and we encourage everyone to submit their questions in the chat box at the bottom of the control panel, which I think will be on the right-hand side of the screen. So yes, Lynn, we can send you a PDF of this webinar. As I mentioned at the top of the webinar, it will be it's being recorded and it will be added to the archive on our webinar page, which you'll find on our website on the company tab, all the way to the right-hand side of the web page. There was a question: when will Phantom PDF 8.1 be available? And I believe you mentioned earlier that it was released on October 18th. There was another question: when is Connected PDF coming out? Well, Connected PDF was released in the summer, late June, as part of Phantom PDF 8.0. So it's already available on Phantom PDF. Phantom PDF is our flagship product. As we've just talked about, provides a wide range of different functions: editing, scanning, printing, and so on and so forth. Connected PDF is also available on two other products. On our Reader product, which, as the name suggests, has much more limited functionality and is purely just for reading. But think of it as a kind of client-server kind of relationship. Phantom PDF would probably be used by the person creating Connected PDFs, while Foxer Reader would be used by the recipient to view. The person would use Phantom PDF, the owner of the document would use Phantom PDF to allow expanded permissions, allow printing, allow editing, or indeed revoke permissions, or even expire a document. So that's kind of the way those two things work. Will I be able to get a recording of this webinar? Kimberly, yes, it will be available. As I mentioned, it's going to be archived and put up onto our website. Brian, there was a question from Jeff: does Foxit offer a way of building a form within a form? Can you take that one?
There are a huge number of ways to build a form. Basically, you can use all kinds of JavaScript and miscellaneous things. So I'm not entirely sure what you mean by a form within a form, but basically any kind of JavaScript or form controls that you would use within Adobe Acrobat should also be supported within Phantom PDF.
Thanks, Brian. There's another question here. Thanks for the demo. I want to talk to someone about a custom Phantom PDF implementation at my company. Sounds good. We'll be in touch with you, John. Will there be... Oh, okay. Will there be any successor of PDF? Thomas, I think that's a trick question. But we'll get back to you. Well, plenty of questions.
So maybe this isn't quite what you meant, but actually I know that the PDF organization is currently working on PDF version 2.0, so maybe you could consider that a successor to PDF. But in terms of actual new formats to succeed PDF, several companies have tried, and none of them have worked out. So I would say at this point it looks like PDF is here to stay.
Thanks, Brian. So Brian, you've already answered the question from Ming about can any integration for check-in, check-out to SharePoint 2013 latest version yet. You've answered that for Ming specifically, but perhaps you can share your response with a broader audience.
Yes, so as far as I know, I believe we should support SharePoint 2013. It looks like Min is having some problems with that, and we'll certainly follow up with him afterwards. But SharePoint 2013 is supported within Phantom PDF.
Thanks for that. There was another question, I think this is for you, Dave. How many, who are some of the clients that the BPI has networked? I'm guessing that's not a question about specific clients, but maybe more industries or verticals. If you can take that, Dave.
Sure. Well, in terms of clients, we've worked with, we really don't have clients, but sponsors who we've worked with are, many from PwC and Deloitte to Dimension Data, IBM, and others. But our membership is very, very broad. We have more than 50,000 members and consumers of our content. And you can go to the bpinetwork.org to see more about to learn more about our organization and to join, which we would very much encourage all of you to do.
Thanks, Dave. I'm reading through the questions. Please keep them coming. We're getting several. Thanks for the compliment, Thomas. I agree, Brian did do a very good job. Okay, Jeff, I saw your comment. Can someone call me regarding Foxit versus Adobe? We will get in touch. Thomas, is there a price for Connected PDF? I should have mentioned that Connected PDF itself is free. It's a cool technology. It has the potential to address and mitigate, if not solve, the challenges that Dave brought up. But yet we provide it free of charge with our products. Phantom PDF, of course, you have to pay for. The business version, in fact, standard and business are both just over $100, so it's not a huge expense. And for that little amount of money, you get the first foray, the first iteration of Smart Documents. But it's absolutely free with Foxit Reader and our mobile reader product. Brian, I'm not sure if you want to take Rhett's question. What is the intelligence level of scan document OCR? What is the resolution thread?
Yes, I was actually just typing out a response to that. We do use a third-party library for OCR, but we've tested and it provides results for recognizing text as good or better than any other solution on the market. And there's no specific resolution threshold. Basically, any document where the text is really readable should provide good OCR results.
Thanks for that. Where are connected PDFs stored? I'm in the UK and for the time being still affected by EU legislation requiring data storage to be in Europe. So the connected PDFs, so I should say that the content within a connected PDF itself, so your confidential information that you want to maintain full control over doesn't get stored in the cloud unless you choose to do it that way. But the default is that no information inside of the document itself is stored in the cloud. Just the ID, just the metadata that's associated with the PDF container gets stored in the cloud. So I think that would be so that shouldn't be an issue for you, Charles, in the UK. Is there any competitor to Connected PDF? The answer is no, not currently. We are the sole provider of that smart technology. Do you have a web version of Foxit? Yes, we do, Jim. If you go to our website, you will find it. Okay, thanks again for the compliments. Is connected PDF proprietary? No. Good question. Thanks for asking, and I should have touched on that too. We fully comply with the ISO 32000 standard, and Connected PDF itself is an extension to that standard and compliant with it. Okay, we're getting towards the bottom of questions and coming up for 45 minutes. So if there aren't any other questions, okay, thank you, Mary, for your compliment. Folks, it has prevented me from having headaches. Thanks for the webinar. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Thomas.
One question I just saw from Jim. He was asking about, you mentioned it earlier, he was asking about web version. I actually just answered that question publicly, so everyone should be able to see the link to our web tools, which include a redaction tools he was asking for, but also conversion, compression, adding watermarks or headers and footers, and actually we're adding more tools all the time. So if you can see that link, then you'll be able to see the web tools we currently have available. So Jim just asked about dates, stamping, or dates numbering. We don't have this yet in our web version, but it is certainly available within Phantom PDF.
And David, if I might, I had mentioned earlier that the BPI network is now doing a study into the security challenges around digital documents. And if it's all right with everyone, I think I'll reach out to you to see if you would want to take this survey. We'd love to get your insights and responses to this issue.
Great point. Thanks for that, Dave. Okay, we've still got almost 60 people still on the webinar, which is great. I think the amount of questions we're getting is beginning to taper off a little. While I've been speaking, Brian has been doing a yeoman's job in responding privately to many. Thanks for that, Brian. So I think at this stage we'll move on and begin wrapping up. What is a yeoman? Okay, Brian has done a very good job. I'm proud of him. Okay, let's begin wrapping things up. So before we end, let me invite you to take Phantom PDF for a test drive. Hopefully what we've shared with you about the potential of Phantom PDF in regards to smart documents, and also the cool features and functionality that are available today in 8.1 that Brian shared have made it appealing. So we invite you to take a test drive and see for yourself what it's capable of. And that test drive is free for 14 days. And if you are interested, you can download Phantom PDF from our website at the URL shown at the bottom there. And please join us on December 15th for our final webinar of 2016. Although we're still pulling this webinar together, the title may change, but at present the title is Ultraforms, Improving Data Collection Using 2D Barcodes. And that sounds intriguing. That'll be provided by Carlos Gonzalez, who came to us through another acquisition. Carlos was the founder and CEO of Data Intro, and now is I believe the CEO of that business unit. And in addition to Carlos and myself on the webinar, we will we expect to be joined by a special mystery guest, somebody from one of the largest insurance companies in the Americas. So that's on December 15th. Again, we'll shortly send out the invitation. Feel free to register, and we look forward to joining with you again on the 15th and perhaps getting questions from you. And with that brings me to the end of today's webinar. Dave, Brian, and I would like to thank you for joining us today. We know you had many choices about how to spend the last 45 minutes, and we're very happy, indeed delighted, that you chose to spend that time with us. And we really hope that you found this webinar helpful. We'd love to hear from you. Feel free to reach out to any of the three of us. Our email addresses are here, shown on the screen. Let us know if you have more questions. We'll go through the questions that people submitted. I think we managed to get to the majority of them, but if there are any that we didn't, we'll follow up with you. But if any more questions come to mind, please let us know. Or if you have any feedback, or indeed if you have a suggestion for a topic for another webinar, we'd love to hear from you. And with that, that's all we have time for. Well, that's all we have for you. So goodbye for now. Thank you for joining us.